summarize what has happened over the last few hours. Plenty of news developments coming in from the White House. And what has Donald Trump announced here, is just to summarize it, is the fact that he's announced a baseline tariff of 10% on all exports from countries to the US. That's the first basic announcement that he's made. And then he's announced an additional reciprocal tariffs on as many as 60 countries, which include India, China, Vietnam, and many other Southeast Asian countries as well. But Canada and Mexico, which were the first countries on which Donald Trump had imposed tariffs after taking office, have been exempt from any further reciprocal tariffs. There were indications made on this earlier as well that all three nations have been in talks. The products under the USMCA have also been exempted. So this is another important development, particularly for Canada and Mexico, and their currencies have reacted to these developments. Now, when do these take effect? Now, the 10% tariff that has been announced, that takes effect on the midnight of the 5th of April, and the higher tariffs announced, they take effect on the 9th of April, which is 12:01 a.m. So 2 dates for the implementation of 2 different lines of tariffs. Now, if you look at the country-specific tariffs that have been announced, take a look at this. China, 34% reciprocal tariff. India as well. We'll get to country specifics in just a bit, but take a look at the others. Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, Cambodia, Vietnam, anywhere between 25% to 50%. That is the reciprocal tariffs that have been announced. Now, for sector specific, pharma is the sector that you need to keep an eye out for, because it has been exempt from any further tariff announcements for now. The administration will be launching an investigation into both pharma and semiconductors, and they'll come to a conclusion, and then maybe at a later date tariffs could be imposed on these sectors. But for now, no exemption on pharma. There is also no exemption. There is also exemption from gold, copper, steel, aluminum imports. They will also not be subject to any reciprocal tariffs as made by the announcements. But the automobile tariffs and the auto part tariffs that were imposed, that were announced last week, they remain in place. They take effect today. The 25% tariffs that were announced last week. Now, we come to India. The 26% tariff announcement that has been made, this reciprocal tariff. In fact, Donald Trump spoke about India. He also mentioned that Prime Minister Modi is a great friend, but I told him that you are not treating us right, and hence we'll be imposing this half of the 52% that India imposes. So we'll be imposing half, which is 26%, is what Donald Trump said. And an official White House statement also mentions that in case the tariff barriers are removed, it will increase US exports to India by as much as $5.5 billion. Now, that's the White House statement as well. When it comes to China, there were already 20% tariffs that were in place. Another 34% tariff. Now, that takes the total to 54%. And just yesterday, before the tariff announcements, China had already said that they are going to restrict companies from investing in the US. And so as a result of which, you could see the market impact as well. US futures are down sharply. The Asian markets are down sharply as well. And the GIFT Nifty 2 is indicating a very sharp gap down for our own markets as well, Manglan.